Right. So Walt Disney, I mean, I think we all have some guy like those core memories, right?
Sure.
Tied to his work, a Disney song,
Yeah.
or A Wish on a Star,
Oh, yeah.
maybe even a trip to Disneyland.
Of course.
But today, um, we're going to try to peel back the layers a little bit on the man himself.
Okay.
We've got an excerpt from a biography,
Right.
and kind of our mission here is go, beyond the familiar happily ever after
Yeah.
to see the real struggles, the real triumphs
Yeah.
that shaped the Disney empire as we know it. Before we get into it, though, I'm curious. When you picture Walt Disney, what comes to mind?
I think most people probably think of the polished, smiling persona.
Yeah.
But what I think is really fascinating is the relentless innovator behind that image.
Oh, I like.
The guy who just constantly pushed the boundaries of animation, of entertainment.
Wasn't all pixie dust, was it?
No, no.
So our deep dive starts in 1901 on a farm in Marceline, Missouri.
Okay.
Can you paint a picture of Walt's childhood for us?
Yeah, so imagine young Walt surrounded by these rolling fields. And I think that landscape would later inspire the idyllic settings of so many Disney films.
Makes sense.
But it wasn't all storybook charm. The family faced constant financial struggles, even facing foreclosure on their farm.
Wow.
And, this experience, I think, instilled a deep sense of instability in Walt.
Yeah.
And I think it's directly tied to his relentless drive and ambition later on.
It's like that need to create something
Yes.
lasting,
Yes.
create something magical.
Yes.
Maybe it stemmed from that early uncertainty.
Absolutely. It's like he took the beauty and hardship of rural life
Yeah.
and used it as fuel for his creative fire.
Interesting. And so, even as a kid, Walt's creativity was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
He was drawing constantly, taking art classes, even contributing to his school newspaper.
Wow.
He clearly had big dreams, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And he wasn't afraid to take risks to pursue those dreams.
Right.
So after a stint as an ambulance driver in World War I, he jumps headfirst into the world of animation. In 1923, he co-founds Laugh-O-Gram Studio. Talk about guts.
Yeah, but as we know, venture doesn't exactly end in a fairy tale ending, does it?
Unfortunately, no. The studio goes bankrupt in 1923.
Right.
And, it would have been easy for Walt to give up at that point, to see it as a sign that he wasn't cut out for this business.
Yeah.
But instead of being defeated, he learns from that failure. It forces him to refine his skills, to understand the business side of things, and ultimately leads to a partnership with his brother, Roy, forming the Disney Brothers Studio. So without that initial setback, who knows if the Disney empire would even exist?
That's so true. I mean, have you ever faced a setback that looking back
Yeah.
actually put you on a better path?
Totally.
It's like the old saying, failure is just a stepping stone to success.
Yeah.
But even with this new partnership, the road to success was still paved with challenges.
Right. In the late 1920s, they lose the rights to their first successful character,
Oh.
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And as if that wasn't bad enough, several key animators jump ship to rival studios, so they're hit with a double whammy.
That must have been crushing.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the pressure Walt was under at that time.
Yeah.
Losing your creation, your team, your financial stability.
Yeah.
Like all at once.
Yeah, this was a true test of Walt's resilience. Instead of being defeated, he channels that frustration and loss into something entirely new.
Enter Mickey Mouse.
Exactly. This brings us to the birth of Mickey Mouse. But it wasn't just any cartoon mouse.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Steamboat Willie. Tell us about the significance of that moment.
So Steamboat Willie was released in 1928. It wasn't just a charming cartoon, it was a technological breakthrough. It was the first synchronized sound cartoon.
Wow.
A game changer for the industry. Suddenly, audiences weren't just watching Mickey Mouse, they were experiencing him in a whole new way.
That's amazing to think that this tiny mouse, born out of adversity, would go on to become a global icon.
It's incredible.
But even with the success of Mickey Mouse, Walt wasn't content to sit still.
No.
He was always pushing the boundaries.
Of course.
Always dreaming bigger.
Yeah.
This brings us to one of his boldest moves, the creation of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
So in 1937, the idea of a feature-length animated film was unheard of. People thought Walt was crazy.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was a huge financial risk, even labeled Disney's folly.
Wow.
Walt took a gamble, not just on his own vision, but on the future of animation itself.
He really put it all on the line, even mortgaging his own home to fund the film.
Exactly. And it was a gamble that paid off.
It did.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs became a monumental success, the highest-grossing film of its time.
Wow.
This wasn't just about box office numbers, though. It was about legitimizing animation as a true art form.
So incredible. He achieved so much in such a short time.
Yeah.
From farm boy to animation pioneer.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
But as we all know, life is a roller coaster, and Walt's story is no exception.
Right.
The 1940s brought a whole new set of challenges, right?
Yeah, so the decade starts with the animators' strike of 1941.
Okay.
A difficult period that impacted Walt both professionally and personally.
Yeah.
And we need to remember that this was a time of significant labor unrest across the country.
Right.
And the animation industry was no exception.
So this wasn't just a business dispute.
Right.
It was a clash of ideologies.
Yeah.
A reflection of the larger social and economic forces at play.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point.
How did Walt navigate this turbulent period?
Well, he adapted, as he always did. He diversified the company's offerings, venturing into live-action films, documentaries, even educational content.
Wow. So it's like he had this uncanny ability to turn obstacles into opportunities.
Yeah.
He was constantly evolving.
Yeah.
Never letting setbacks define him.
That's right.
And it's during this time that the seeds of something truly magical are planted. Disneyland.
Yeah. Here's where Walt's vision really expands beyond the screen.
Right.
He imagines a place where families can escape reality, a world of magic and wonder come to life. But remember, this is the 1950s, a time when amusement parks were mostly rundown carnivals.
Yeah, so Disneyland was a radical concept.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the skepticism he faced.
Oh, absolutely. Bankers and industry experts thought he was nuts.
Really?
But Walt, once again, was willing to bet on his vision.
Wow.
He poured his heart and soul,
Right.
and a significant chunk of his personal fortune, into making Disneyland a reality.
Wow.
And this is where those early experiences of instability come full circle.
Oh, interesting.
He'd faced down doubt and financial hardship before he knew what it meant to risk it all for a dream.
And in 1955, against all odds,
Yeah.
the gates of Disneyland swing open,
They do.
forever changing the landscape of entertainment.
It's pretty amazing.
It became a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
A testament to the power of imagination and resilience.
It really is. It wasn't just a theme park, though.
Right.
It was a cultural landmark, a symbol of post-war American optimism and ingenuity.
So we've covered a lot of ground already. From those humble beginnings in Marceline to the triumph of Disneyland. And we've seen how Walt's early experiences shaped his relentless drive, his willingness to take risks, and his unwavering belief in the power of dreams.
Absolutely.
But his story doesn't end there.
Not even close. Stay tuned, because next we'll delve into the later years of Walt's career, exploring his continued innovation,
Okay.
the challenges he faced, and the legacy he left behind.
Can't wait.
Yeah, this is going to be good. Walt's story really is, a testament to the power of perseverance, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah. I mean, he faced so many obstacles, but his vision never wavered.
No, it never did. And Disneyland was just the beginning.
Right.
Even with that massive success under his belt, Walt's mind was already racing towards new horizons.
He always had to be innovating, didn't he?
He did. He had this just insatiable curiosity,
Yeah.
always pushing the envelope. Think about Mary Poppins in 1964.
Okay.
Blending live action and animation seamlessly. I mean, that film was groundbreaking for its time.
Oh, it was groundbreaking. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like he was constantly asking himself, what's next? What haven't we done before?
Right.
Which leads us to EPCO,
Yeah,
perhaps his most ambitious project yet.
it might have been.
EPCO, which stands for?
Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Was Walt's vision for a futuristic city,
Okay.
a real-life utopia,
Wow.
showcasing cutting-edge technology and innovative urban design.
Okay, so we've got the futuristic city concept,
Yeah.
but is there a connection back
Mhm.
to that farm boy from Missouri?
Absolutely. It's fascinating how certain themes kind of weave their way throughout his life.
Yeah.
Think about it. Walt's early years were shaped by the rural landscape, the close-knit community, the challenges of farm life. EPCSE, in a way, was his attempt to reimagine that world,
Oh, wow.
but through a futuristic lens.
So he envisioned a city that embraced technology and progress,
Right.
but still retained those core values
Yes.
of community, sustainability, and harmony with nature.
Exactly. And remember, this is the 1960s.
Right.
The space race is in full swing.
Yeah.
The world is on the cusp of massive technological advancements. Walt tapped into that zeitgeist, that sense of boundless possibility.
But sadly, as we know, Walt's time ran out before he could fully realize this ambitious dream.
It did, yes. He passed away in 1966, leaving EPCIT unfinished. It's a poignant reminder, I think, of human limitations, even for someone as visionary as Walt Disney.
But his team at Disney carried the torch, though.
They did, yeah.
They honored his vision, completing EPSAT as the testament to his enduring legacy.
Yeah.
While it didn't become the literal city that he imagined, it evolved to a celebration of human achievement, innovation, and global cultures.
Which is amazing.
It is. Even in his absence, Walt's impact continued to ripple outward.
It did.
His ideas took on a life of their own,
Yeah.
inspiring generations of Imagineers and dreamers.
And that's what makes his story so powerful.
Yeah.
You know, it transcends the individual.
Yeah.
It becomes a testament to the enduring power of human imagination.
We've been focusing a lot on the big picture.
Yeah.
The groundbreaking films, the innovative theme parks. But I think it's important to remember that at the heart of it all, Walt Disney was a master storyteller.
Oh, he was a master storyteller. Couldn't agree more.
He understood that stories have this incredible power.
Yes.
To connect with people on a deep emotional level.
Absolutely.
Whether it was a whimsical cartoon short or an epic animated adventure.
Didn't matter.
His stories resonated with audiences across generations and cultures.
That's true.
And they weren't just entertaining either.
Right.
They often carried these profound messages
Yeah.
about good versus evil, the importance of family and friendship, the triumph of hope over adversity. These are universal themes.
They are.
That tap into something fundamental about the human experience.
It's true. And what's fascinating is how he infused those timeless themes into such a diverse range of genres and mediums.
He really did.
From animation to live action, from musicals to documentaries, from theme park attractions to television shows. He was constantly exploring new ways to engage and captivate audiences.
Like he had this intuitive understanding of what makes us tick.
Yes.
What sparks our imagination, what makes us laugh, cry, and dream. And he wasn't afraid to take risks.
No, he wasn't.
To push the boundaries of storytelling. He was a true innovator.
He was.
A pioneer who reshaped the landscape of entertainment.
And it's a legacy that continues to inspire. Think about the countless artists, filmmakers, and storytellers who cite Walt Disney as an influence.
Oh, yeah?
His work has left an indelible mark on popular culture, shaping how we consume and experience entertainment.
It's amazing to consider the sheer scope of his impact.
It is.
But let's shift gears for a moment.
Okay.
We've been highlighting Walt's successes, his vision, his ability to overcome obstacles. But it's important to acknowledge that no one's story is perfect, right?
Right.
Walt was a product of his time.
He was.
And some aspects of his work reflect societal norms and biases that were prevalent during that era.
You're absolutely right. It's crucial to view his work within its historical context.
Yeah.
You know, we can appreciate the artistry, the innovation, the enduring appeal of his stories, while also acknowledging that there are elements that haven't aged well.
Right. It's about engaging with the full picture.
Yes.
The complexities and contradictions that make up a life as rich and influential as Walt Disney's.
And I think it's a testament to the power of his work that it continues to spark these conversations, you know, these critical reflections on the evolution of storytelling and the values embedded within it.
It's a reminder that legacy is a multifaceted thing.
It is.
It's not just about the successes, but also about the challenges, the imperfections, and the ongoing dialogue that surrounds a life's work.
And that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating, you know? It's not just about celebrating Walt Disney.
Yeah.
It's about understanding him, exploring the nuances of his story, and grappling with the complexities of his legacy.
It's about recognizing that even the most iconic figures are human, with flaws and contradictions.
They are.
And ultimately, I think that's what makes their stories so compelling.
Absolutely. They remind us that even amidst great achievements, there's always room for growth, for reflection, for grappling with the complexities of the past and its impact on the present.
So it's interesting to consider how Walt Disney's story, both the triumphs and the complexities, continues to resonate with us today. What do you think it is about his life that captures our collective imagination?
I think it's that universal appeal of someone with a dream, someone who faces incredible odds, but never gives up. Walt's story taps into that deep-seated human desire to believe that anything is possible if you have enough passion and determination.
It's like that classic rags to riches tale, but with an extra layer of magic sprinkled in.
Yeah.
We see this farm boy from Missouri who dares to dream big.
Right.
And then, through sheer willpower and creative vision, built an empire that brings joy to millions around the world.
I think that's right.
And it's not just the scale of his achievement.
Yeah.
It's how he achieved them. He was constantly innovating, pushing the boundaries of technology and storytelling.
Yeah.
Think about the impact of synchronized sound in Steamboat Willie.
Right.
Or the groundbreaking animation techniques used in Snow White.
Yeah, those were.
These were game changers that revolutionized the entire industry.
Yeah, they really were. They were game changers.
And he wasn't afraid to experiment.
No.
To take risks, to break the mold.
It's like he was driven by this insatiable curiosity.
Yeah.
This need to explore uncharted territory. That kind of audacity is inspiring.
Especially in a world that often encourages us to play it safe.
Absolutely. He reminds us that true innovation requires a willingness to step outside of our comfort zones,
Right.
to embrace failure as a learning opportunity, and to never stop asking, what if?
And it's that spirit of what if that led him to create Disneyland.
Yeah.
A place that, at the time, seems like pure fantasy.
It did.
But Walt had this uncanny ability to envision the future of entertainment, to see the potential in something that others dismissed as impossible.
Yeah, and he tapped into a cultural longing for escape.
Yeah.
For a place where families could experience magic and adventure together.
And Disneyland became a symbol of post-war optimism.
It did?
A testament to the belief that we could build a brighter, more joyful future.
A brighter future.
And even though he didn't live to see the completion of EPCI,
Right.
his vision for a futuristic community continues to spark our imagination.
Absolutely.
It speaks to our enduring fascination with technology, progress, and the possibilities of a world that embraces innovation and sustainability.
It's like Walt Disney's legacy is a conversation that's still unfolding.
Yeah.
His work continues to inspire us to dream big, to push the boundaries of creativity,
Yeah.
and to imagine a world where anything is possible.
As we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Walt Disney,
Yeah.
I'm left with a sense of awe at the sheer scope of his accomplishments.
Yeah.
But more than that, I'm inspired by his unwavering belief in the power of imagination, his willingness to take risks, and his dedication to creating something truly magical.
He showed us that stories have the power to transport us to other worlds,
Right.
to make us laugh and cry, and to
Yeah.
remind us of the enduring values of hope,
Yeah.
courage, and the triumph of good over evil.
It's a legacy that will continue to enchant and inspire generations to come.
Yeah.
So as you go about your day,
Yeah.
remember the lessons we've uncovered in our deep dive into the world of Walt Disney. Embrace your own creativity, dare to dream big, and never underestimate the power of a little bit of magic.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to create the next Mickey Mouse, the
Wow.
next Disneyland, the next story that captures the hearts and minds of millions around the world.